I filed for my first lot of files, the social worker said that parents were looked down upon if they didn't attend church. Well, my mother did attend church.
Every time they changed the name of an institution, it's erased when they change the name.
Then people that were looking for kids to foster or adopt, or mostly they would get them because they could help with the farm work, and I know with the child migrants it was mostly training kids up to work on farms or to be maids or help with the housework, or it was all getting you because they wanted help with the kids doing something. It wasn't because they wanted a child that they could love.
But mainly because our fathers returned from Second World War with unknown post-traumatic stress disorder, deaths of the parent.
I don't know about a lot of other people why they weren't told or what they weren't told, but we knew when we were taken away why. Because our parents were unsuitable because of the alcohol and because of domestic violence and because we were neglected. But something that's worthy of taking note of, I think, in those days, it was the children who were charged. We were charged. They didn't charge the parents. They charged us with being neglected and under unfit guardianship.
When I first applied for my records, I just received about 3 index cards. I was told that was all that could be found because of files being destroyed and that. But then when I attended the Mulligan inquiry, I soon picked up that Danny, the lawyer, and Ted Mulligan knew more about myself than what I knew and remembered, so I then applied for them again.
They do the research and find all the, try to find the copies of them, originals, So they do the research, and then when they send me back some information, that's how I got the information, when I was actually taken away, when I actually born in 54, taken 54. And so they don't tell you why you're taken away, really, because that's probably the one where the big black lines are going through. And, they didn't want us to know what, trying to hide doing their little cover-up work, put it that way.
This time I received hundreds of pages of files, although half were blacked out and some pages were completely blacked out. So, I will never know the full history.
It's very overwhelming because you can request your records, but then from that you might need to get more records. You might need hospital records or other things that it all leads into. So it is quite overwhelming, and then when you do get the information, some of it's a bit shocking.
A lot of those child migrants were told before they brought them out that their parents were dead, and their parents were told their children were dead. That policy was more about trying to populate Australia with white European kids because of the White Australia policy and the genocidal policies of governments were trying to sort of wipe out the Indigenous population. So the child migrant scheme, that was a scheme dreamed up between the British and Australian governments.
Lose our identity, lose our culture, try to make us fit into society where they didn't have to do that, because those days they were living a good life and they were healthy living, They knew how to survive.
The reason why a lot of people, the public doesn't know about Forgotten Australians and care leavers, I think the media has a hell of a lot to play there.
I heard a leading Australian lawyer ask, why were we not taught about forgotten Australians in the institution? To him, there were two reasons why. Because it was too hard to talk about the cruel history, or people just don't care. To me, I think it's some of both, unfortunately.
Remember me now?